Good afternoon, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. Still Monday. Still Monday, October the 4th. October the 4th, and we had a pretty interesting day today. Like I had told you on this last video I did, or on my lunchtime. A couple of social media sites were down. From, if I'm not mistaken, Facebook was down, and I believe it was Instagram. Some other one. I don't really do any other types of social media, but Facebook when I do get on there. But another thing was, I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine up from the Fort Worth area, talking about how she wasn't able to get money from her account. So I don't know if it was just Facebook. She wasn't able to get money out of the bank. But it was funny because around that time we also had trouble getting into one of the apps that we use at work to clock in and out. So I think it was some kind of, I don't know, it was a lot of stuff was down today. I don't know if it was related or, you know, I'm not sure, guys, but I think it's worth making a note that so many different things were either down completely or having trouble, you know what I mean? So what I wanted to talk about was something that crossed my mind. I know I had mentioned in the morning about how about the container ships, how they were all parked on the East Coast and on the west, especially the West Coast, even in the Gulf of Mexico. Basically, you could see these ships parked pretty much all over the world. But what it reminded me of, you know, like I said, this thought just went through my head, you know, and this is just, you know, I'm just, you know what I mean, I'm just saying, the thought went through my head that what if those ships had, you know, like troops or something, you know what I mean? I don't normally think like that, guys, because I don't believe that we'll get, you know, if America was to get invaded or there was war on the American people, I wouldn't see it. I don't think it would be waged in that way, like an actual physical army. You know, like in the movies, you know, storming the beaches and jumping off of transports and stuff like that. I don't think that's the way it will be done. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be done, but I don't see a war in the modern age being conducted like that. I don't see it being waged like that. But it was just, that thought just came to my head, that what if, I mean, crazy things these days, so many crazy things are happening, and it just went through my mind. Because even if there's not troops on there, I believe that the fact that those ships are not being unloaded, excuse me, I believe that it's you know, it's that asymmetrical warfare, that modern warfare that's being conducted on the American people. So I'm not sure how long this supply chain will hold up with the stores getting what they need. I'm already, you know, of course, we've been hearing of other places across the country that they're not getting all the shipments that they're supposed to, that a certain percentage of what they usually get is, you know, they're down by a certain percentage. I forgot who it was. Grocery chain was only getting like 60% of what they normally get in their inventory. It might be that it's so small, they're spread out. It's spread out, and it's to where you don't really notice it like drastically. And I'm not sure that it'll ever get to that point. I'm not saying it will, and I'm not saying it won't. But everything's on the table for me, guys. Any possibility, you know, anything's possible to me, and I won't rule anything out. Can it correct? You know, can we have a miraculous correction where, you know, the supply chain stabilizes and, you know, everybody starts getting what they're supposed to get? Of course, it's possible. I'm not sure what exactly, if that's what's actually being done, or if this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, so to speak. You know, I'm not sure. All I know is that we're hearing a lot of people from on the street, you know, regular people like you and I, you know, sending in their little intelligence reports and talking about what they're lacking in their part of the country, in their towns, in their cities, in their areas. And I see that little by little our supply chain is being squeezed. It just amazes me that so many resources are out there at any given time, you know, flowing into the stores, and then people going shopping and buying them and taking them home. I mean, that's an incredible amount of food and water and you know, all the different things, all the different kinds of foods there is. It just amazes me that there could be so much, you know what I mean? That there's so much. If you walk into a store and, you know, it's stocked, you know. I guess if everybody just, you know, if people just, I guess, just bought regular shopping, I guess it could hold up. The supplies would hold up. But the thing is that what it seems to me is that once people, come on, guys, people driving crazy around here. People don't know how to drive. I think once enough people wake up to the fact that of how close we are to a supply chain disruption, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. If one day people just, if there's enough panic or enough concern, and the people that have been asleep all this time, and they wake up and they all decide to panic buying, then the dominoes will start falling, and we'll be at a huge deficit supply wise. I wish I had some more data that I could share with you, some real-time data. I'm sure there's programs out there that the big stores have of, you know, the supply chain moving around. I mean, I'm sorry, not the supply. Well, yeah, the supply chain, the supplies, you know, flowing. Algorithms that show the flow of goods, of the different foods, the different types of food, the water, you know, how they're flowing from one place to another. I wish I could see that in real time, and to see how close we are, or how much margin, how much cushion do we have. That reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, that reminds me, this thing today with Facebook, whenever things like that happen, that an app goes down, a popular app like Facebook, when it goes down like that, you know, it reminds me of like the Department of Defense and some of these AI algorithms that are out there that track, you know, because we're at war. We're at war. There is war being waged on us, okay? and part of it is communications. It's the intel. So they shut down Facebook, right? They shut down these different social media platforms, right? And so the first thing that they do is they want to see, how did people react? Did they panic? What did they do? They know that a lot of people communicate on Facebook. They know that that's how they share. A lot of intel gets shared in that way. A lot of people communicate in that way. And a lot of news spreads, right? It trends like that on Facebook. Just like it trends on on the mainstream media. But I remember it reminding me of Jade Helm. They have that geospatial engineering where they can see, not only just the movement of people, right, but the information that's flowing. Like, say some person living in New York contacts some person in Oklahoma or whatever. Those communications are tracked and they're put down, and it shows how the communication, how it moves. I wish I could remember where I saw this or what was the link to this, but it was talking about these Department of Defense computers, how they track when, like, say some war breaks out and people start talking about it. Okay, how fast does a news spread? From one place to the other. And they actually had maps, right? And they show these, like, the flow. It looks like almost like wind on a weather map. How they show the wind, the direction that it's flowing. And but what it is instead of wind, it's information. And I think they're using that in case, say, they bring the hammer down. Even harder because they're already bringing it down. But when they really decide to bring the hammer down and let you know that it's on, right? How are people going to react? Because that's part of war, is controlling the information. If people can't communicate, if people don't know something's going on, they just don't know. They're not gonna. They don't. They control the information. They control how it gets passed around and how it spreads and stuff like that. And they use these big programs to let them see it in real time. And every time this happens, like with Facebook being out, or when like, say, Verizon or AT&T, their data goes down and people can't use their phones, or some outage. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the powers that be, or the intelligence services accessing these programs and watching how people are, how are the people, how are they communicating, what are they talking about? Are they talking about this thing that happened? Are they talking about it? That's war. I mean, if you're invading a country, you're gonna try and try and control the communications, the lines of communication. You're gonna try and control how the people are perceiving their environment. Where is the enemy? What is the enemy doing to counteract, what you're doing? It's just although I understand asymmetrical warfare and that psychological warfare. I can just imagine, and that's only me as a layman. I understand that there's different ways of conducting war, and in this age, with the technology that we have, you don't have to have a shooting war. You don't have to have soldiers on the streets, and there's too many people, first of all. But it's a lot easier the way they're doing it, and with the media, especially with the media, they can control how people are perceiving what's going on around them. And and for the most part, a lot of people are too much in the grip of the mainstream media. They're too much in that grip, and they can't shake loose from it. And so whatever the media tells, whatever the media reports is what they believe. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I heard people say, well, I didn't see it on the news, you know, and so they won't believe you. They will not believe you. Even if you show them facts and reports and, you know, you take them to the source, they will not believe you until they hear it from the media. And whatever the media says is what they believe. The media is part of the apparatus. That's part of the war on people. They control the information, and they control the system that allows us to pretty much to live. And you know, they control everything. So when I see these things, guys, that's what it reminds me of. Today with like the Facebook and all these other, you know, things going out. Again, I'm starting to see so many stories about even though we've been talking about the supply chain for months and months. We've been talking about that. I mean, our community. Oh, that was weird. We've been talking about that. We know what's going on, but now it's being talked about a little bit more, and it's becoming more obvious. And so all I can say is, if it ever happens that we start seeing actual shortages at the grocery store, or at the local convenience store, or at the Dollar Generals, stuff like that, Family Dollars, I know people are gonna freak out. It might take them, depending on what kind of news they hear. But once it gets going, once the panic gets going, it'll be unstoppable. There's nothing. Especially with food, if they say that the food's gonna run out or whatever, people won't give a damn. They'll tear the store down. If it means that, oh, dude, they'll tear the store down. Let's go, dude. Hurry up. They'll tear the store down, guys. And rightfully so. I mean, if that's all they got, they didn't prepare, guys, like we did. And so they'll do anything. That's why I think it's so important for us to be preparing as much as we can right now, because we don't. I believe now I'm starting to see that we really are. Time really is short. Before I wasn't sure. I wouldn't flat out say, you know, yeah, time's running short, and you know, we gotta speed up. Now I would say that time is running short. I think it's getting short, guys. I really do. I'm starting to see too many converging points getting closer and closer. And another thing, I mean, not that it has anything to do, you know, or it might, but we sure got sprayed a lot today with chemtrails. We had a lot of chemtrails all day. They've been spraying. I took some pictures, and I always do that. I like to document a crime in progress, and that's a crime what they're doing. So anyway, guys, I just got off of work, so I don't know anything that's been going on since what I told y'all in lunch. I haven't really had time. It was a very busy day. I haven't had time to catch up on anything, what's been happening during the day. I do get a lot of emails, and they have, you know, whatever's going on. But I normally I don't even have time to read them. I try to keep up here and there. whenever I get some downtime throughout the day. But today I just didn't really have any time. So anyway, guys, this is my third video today, and thanks for being here. If you're here, I appreciate it. It was funny, but I lost a lot of subs, probably because I hadn't really done a video. I think it was like 5 or 6 days. But even before that, when I was doing videos, I was already losing subs. I don't know what I said, or maybe it's because I said that I don't follow anyone politician or political party, because to me the political parties they're all together, and they're all in on it. They're basically just mouthpieces. Now I am conservative. I'm a conservative person, and I believe in the idea of the Constitution, of the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, natural law, God's law. That's what I believe in. And so, for the most part, preppers in general, this community, for the most part, we kind of follow along those lines. Conservative, really, it used to be a classical liberal, but they kind of hijacked that term, classical liberal. They pretty much hijacked the liberal moniker, however you want to call it. But anyway, guys, hope you have a good evening. I'm gonna get home, eat some dinner, catch up on what's going on, and again, y'all stock up, guys. Don't stop. Like I said, I had a little mini SHTF situation this past week, but we got through it, and luckily I've been preparing for so long, or at least really for the past almost 2 years. I've been really picked up my pace, and it helps, And I think now it's more important, guys. I would definitely pick up the pace. Even though we're pretty. I've been steady, always steady. Stocking up. Nothing crazy, right? Just steady. But I think now we're coming to the point where we have to, if possible, pick up the pace. Because I really do think, and as far as what I've been seeing this past week, and I don't like to fall into those traps, right, where it's like a trend. Even in the prepper community, there's trends, like I've mentioned before. Even our community, that can happen to us, where we get into this is the du jour, right, the subject of the day, right, the disaster of the day. And so for like maybe a week or so, they start talking about it, or whatever. I'm just saying. But in this case, like with the supply chain, there's too many stories coming from too many places, different places, and the container ships, it seems like they're piling up. But anyway, guys, I guess just like I said, just keep stocking. And I was gonna make a point. I was gonna actually do not a correction, but I had said something on this video, on the video in the morning, and I was thinking about it during the day. I wanted to clarify something. I knew I was gonna forget. What was I gonna say? I had said something, and I don't know. I kind of wanted to clarify, or some point I had made, or add to it. I just can't remember what it was. But man, I can't remember. Well, if I remember, I'll yeah, because what happened was I was listening to. Sometimes I don't even get to listen to the videos that I put out until later in the day, and I was trying to see how the video that I shot this morning, I was listening to it during lunch, and I kind of heard something that I had said, and I wanted to clarify, but I can't remember now what it was. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here with me again. I really appreciate y'all. My subs, they're holding right now, like they've been at about the 350s and 360s for the past, honestly, I guess maybe like the past month. But those strikes, those times that they knocked me out, I lost a lot of subs. On my last 2-week vacation, forced vacation they put me on YouTube, I lost a lot of subs during those 2 weeks that I was not active, at least on this channel. I do have another channel, but most of my subs are here. But I'm really glad the core that I have here, y'all are always here and y'all are always commenting, and I really appreciate y'all. And I really appreciate the info y'all giving me, especially from the East Coast. And I get reports from Pennsylvania, from North Texas, different places around the country. And really appreciate y'all again. Just wanted y'all to know that. Anyway, guys, y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.